Yo, Don Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been thoroughly enjoying my holiday weekend. In fact, I just ended up going full-on Pogue and spent the entire day on the boat. Hence why I look like a damn tomato right now. But you know what? That's okay. Because I got home and I told myself, I was like, Dan, you need to give the Don Mafia what they want. And that's some content, baby. Once again, guys, we're stepping behind enemy lines, and this time I ended up bringing on a YouTuber that covered the Arizona Cardinals. We ended up playing them this year. It should be a pretty exciting matchup. Two young quarterbacks, two teams that are really trying to find their way. So I figured that I would bring on my buddy. He's the AZ Sports fan, and we're going to go on ahead and we're just going to dive into a little preview of the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals. Before I do that, I need to give a giant shout out to my most recent Patreon contributor. That's Gavin Page. Thank you so much for that $5 a month donation, dude. You have no idea how much that helps out the channel, and that helps me give the Don Mafia more and more content and increase the quality little by little. Thank you again. Don Mafia, you know the best way to support this channel is simply by smashing the out of that like button and then maybe sharing it somewhere and telling a friend. But say that you want to go that extra mile, then Patreon's the way to do that. You can find that link in my description. Without further ado, let's dive in. Yo, Don Mafia, as promised, for the fourth time, and honestly, this series is just cemented in right now. We are not going to stop until we talk to a representative from each and every single team that is on the Buffalo Bills schedule in 2020, and I just so happen to have my very good friend Mike, who tries and covers the Arizona Cardinals, and we're going to go on ahead and we're going to sort of dive into his team and not only see exactly how they're going to stack up against the Buffalo Bills once we face them this year, but his team in general. So Mike, why don't you go on ahead and introduce yourself to the Don Mafia?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So my name is Mike. Started my YouTube channel probably sometime last year. I do everything Arizona Cardinals related, Diamondbacks. I try to spread it out, but Arizona Cardinals is the main topic I talk about on here. I don't know, man. I'm just a diehard Arizona Cardinal fan that's trying to make a name on YouTube, to be honest with you. That's it.
And so, hey, man, we were definitely having the conversation that you just started your channel this previous summer, and it's awesome. You've clearly gained a lot of traction just from starting last June and July, right?
Right, exactly. I was super surprised, honestly. Arizona Cardinals isn't really a team where, you hear very often unless you're in the playoffs, doing really good. We even had a very, very, terrible time these last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So the Arizona Cardinals aren't really a topic to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. So Mike, that actually leads me in, it's a fantastic segue to my very first question for you, right? So, let's rewind and go back to the beginning of the 2019 season, right? So, you were going into it. You just got done drafting your second consecutive first-round quarterback, right? First was Josh Rosen, sent him off to the Dolphins, and then you ended up having Kyler Murray. So going into the season, what exactly were your expectations for the Cardinals at that point? And once the season concluded, were your expectations met or were they exceeded? Or were they worse than you expected?
So great question. Honestly, I was one of those fans that was really kind of upset what they did to Josh Rosen. I get the hype that was behind Kyler Murray, but I was one of the fans that were sticking by Josh Rosen because I hated the fact that we really didn't give him the opportunity to succeed. But, I was not believing it to the draft. The moment that they drafted, I was in shock. I thought we were going to get Nick Bosa. I thought we were going to get, Quentin Williams. It didn't happen. We ended up getting, Kyler Murray, which the season came out better than I thought. Now, not because our record isn't that much better than it was the year before, but our offense, the way that our team was, the way that they gel together is 500 times better to watch 2019 compared to the 2018 season with Josh Rosen. So my expectations have been exceeded, not just because record, but because the improvement that we've seen from the regime from Steve Wilkes to Cliff Kingsbury.
Got you. So overall, you would say that once that season ended, your expectations were exceeded, you would say? You were happy within the direction of where the Cardinals were going at that point?
I was, yes. I was happy with Kyler Murray at the end of the season. He pretty much kind of proved me wrong. I was kind of
Yeah.
one of those where I didn't want to believe that he was going to be a good quarterback. I don't really care for the height. That's not something that I was concerned about. It was more kind of hurt about Josh Rosen, to be honest with you. I was like super
Yeah.
like trying to, back him up. And he honestly, the way that he played his rookie year compared to Josh Rosen's rookie year, it was completely different. It was night and day. And you can see that the team not only, adapted to Kyler Murray's play a lot better than they
Yeah.
did to Josh Rosen's.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like honestly, like I was not a believer of Kyler Murray at all. Like during the 2019 season, like prior to the 2019 season, he ended up proving me wrong. Let's put it that way. I think one of my first memories of him, like in the NFL, was like maybe like week 1 or week 2 of the preseason, and like dude, man, was getting absolutely chomped up, like terrible, like was just
Yeah.
getting completely destroyed.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure that he was a meme for like at least like a week and a half. Like I'd be like some like 5'3" dude, like just getting absolutely choked out.
Right.
But I mean, he ended up proving a lot of the doubters wrong. Like I mean, like he had like several games, I believe, over 300 yards. Is that correct?
Yeah, he definitely had several
Okay.
games over 300 yards.
Mm.
I don't have like the statistics like on me now, but like I said, there was no offense when Josh Rosen was the quarterback. It was to the point
Yeah.
where if they were down 10 points by half, none of the Arizona Cardinal fans thought that we had a chance. Like it was that bad. The Arizona Cardinals were unbearable to watch 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, you know what? Like, honestly, like I've seen the progression of the Cardinals so far, and I mean, it's very, very exciting. And as you know, right? So the Buffalo Bills just so happened to have the Cardinals on their schedule this year. And I'm very excited for this game for a number of reasons. Number one, because I think that this is going to be like a huge gauntlet, like for us, because we're playing, in my opinion, the best division within football in general. And that's the NFC West.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, like the Cardinals were obviously pretty busy, during the offseason itself, like splash move, right? Like with Hopkins, like I'm pretty sure that Bill O'Brien like basically sent him over for like $2 or something like that. Like
Pretty
it was
much.
absolutely absurd. Like I mean, like you ended up getting him like going into it. So your offense is absolutely stacked from a roster perspective, right? Like I mean, like It seems like you have all the weapons that a quarterback would need. So in your opinion, right, what would you say right now is like the glaring hole of the Arizona Cardinals right now? Like what room are you most concerned about?
I would go interior defensive line. I feel like we would need just a little bit more help. I feel like the GM did what he could to fill up every hole in this free agency, as well as the draft. But we ended up getting Phillips from the Bills.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely, man.
I had a lot of Bills actually, Bills fans come to my channel when I posted my channel that we've gotten him. And they're saying a couple different things. Some people were like, hey, don't believe the hype. Some people were saying he was really inconsistent. Other people were saying, hey, he's good. But, you paid him, so we'll see how he comes out now. So I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about Phillips, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, so to be honest with you, I am an absolute huge fan of Jordan Phillips. I actually was a huge advocate for the Bills to like see if they could find a deal to bring him back just because of the season that he had for the Bills last year. Like, I mean, like you're definitely going to get a workhorse. We don't understand if like he's going to go in with the same workhorse mentality now that he actually ended up getting the bag. So, I mean, that's definitely going to be super interesting to see. But in my opinion, out of all of the Bills fans that were salty and were telling you, oh, like, you don't know what you're going to get, in my opinion, they were just salty that he didn't end up working out a deal with the Bills front office. So, I mean, I honestly think that your interior D-line with Phillips lined up is going to improve it, which is going to be, super interesting.
Perfect,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I guarantee you will not be disappointed with him. And like, I honestly miss him on the team so far. But all right. So as mentioned previously, I ended up saying that in my opinion, the NFC West is the most stacked division within the NFL right now. So I'm not sure whether or not that you've done one of those way too early record predictions of the Arizona Cardinals. I know that I did my way too early record prediction of the Bills like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So whether or not that you have done one or whether or not that you haven't, like, where are you at right now? Where are you seeing the Cardinals finish in 2020?
Eh, so this is a good question.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like a two-sided question for me. I can answer like two different ways. I don't want to believe too much of like the hype, although I kind of do. Like, I feel like we're kind of the Browns of the year prior,
Got
because
it.
we have all the all the weapons that Kyler Murray could do. I think the good thing that's on our favor is we have a second-year coach that's coming around and only focusing on the offense, and then we have our defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna do really good. I don't think we're gonna beat the division, because we have the San Francisco 49ers. We have these, Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson. I do think that the Rams are going to regress. That I do think that's going to happen.
Oh, me too.
But I don't think we're going to win our division. It's too hard of an ask to do. Wild card, hopefully, because we opened up that extra spot. So I really banked my buck on that, honestly. I think we're going to do good. I think we're at least going to win 10 games. I kid you not. I think
Wow. Okay.
our schedule is actually pretty decent. I did do an early two prediction for the Bills, and I had us losing. So I don't know if you have any respect of that, but I really do
Perfect.
respect your guys' defense, and I feel
Yeah.
like you guys will bring the house down. And I think Kyler Murray currently right now is not too comfortable with bringing the house on him, so he starts panicking a lot. But I do think that they will win 10 games for sure.
Sure. So you had the Cardinals going 10-6.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
that's very interesting because you and I we have the same mentality. Like I had the Bills beating the Cardinals as well, just because rate of your young quarterback. Because Sean McDermott just has a way of being able to terrorize quarterbacks that are 3 years or less within the league already within the defense by itself.
For sure.
So I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting, man. Like I was actually considering, was thinking about coming to Arizona for that game. Was between that or Vegas. But I'm leaning more toward Arizona because the Vegas game, the nosebleeds are fucking $380.
Ooh,
Yeah, dude,
wow.
completely outrageous. And don't get me wrong, going and watching the Vegas game would be awesome, but
For sure.
I think that the Arizona game would be just as exciting and, not as, let's say, terrible rate on the wallet by itself.
Right. Completely agree.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, dude, last question right now. So do you think, right? So, you're seeing that the Cardinals are going 10-6 right now, in 2020. Do you think that they are going to be contenders within the next 3 years? Like a team that could genuinely be in the conversation for a for sure Super Bowl team?
Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely can see it. We've added a lot of young key pieces. We're a pretty young team right now. We drafted Isaiah Simmons, which can pretty much play anywhere. I think it's really, really up to the defensive coordinator and Vance Joseph to see exactly how they're going to use him. Because he could play safety, he can play edge, he can play, the weak side, the linebacker spot. So I was told he's going to be put in the weak side linebacker spot. One of our glaring holes was covering the tight ends. So I feel like him getting drafted would only kind of make us better in that spot. Hopefully it locks it down. But I can see the Arizona Cardinals in 3 years being in contention, if always being that team. I want Kyler Murray obviously to be the next Russell Wilson. It probably won't happen, but I don't know. I feel like as long as you have Russell Wilson, the Seahawks, they're always going to be in contention. It doesn't matter who he's throwing the dang ball to. It's getting to that point.
Yeah.
It's annoying me.
No, yeah, dude, for sure. I actually had the Bills losing to the Seahawks and the Niners. So during my thing. Yeah. Well, that's definitely a conversation for, sort of for a different time. Let's put it that way.
For sure.
Yeah, I know. But so Mike, once again, dude, I really appreciate you sort of coming on right to the channel and sort of talking about the Cardinals. We're definitely gonna have to link up again before we actually end up playing each other. So that could definitely be an interesting collaboration again. Yeah, man. But besides that, once again, thank you so much for showing up on the channel. And Don Mafia, I am going to go on ahead and I am going to link Mike's channel in my description. Definitely go over there and check it out. Subscribe to his channel, watch his content. It's definitely always a good thing to sort of get an idea of the enemy, right? Get an idea of what's going on with their team so you can make accurate bets sort of against your homies when it comes down to talking shit about your favorite team. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Exactly. So Mike, once again, dude, thank you so much. And Don Mafia, always remember, let's go Buffalo.